Live from Hollywood, California, Veejay, Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funnies, Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
I like that. I like that. I've heard it before, but I like that, man. That's hot right there. What up, everybody, man? Veejay, Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, the Big Vanilla Guru, the Vanilla Shack, Creamy Kobe, Mr. Never Shut Up, man. VA's Top Talker, the Big Vanilla Seasoning Salt, because all you got to do is put a little bit of me on it, and you ready. You don't need a whole, but you don't need oregano, you don't need cilantro, you don't need salt, pepper, none of that. Add a little VJ seasoning, man. It's like lawyers, you know what I'm saying? Lawyers, you know what I'm saying? Mrs. Dash, adobo for my Hispanic and my Latino brothers and sisters. Add a little bit of that on for me, man. The Big Vanilla color card, man, that's because sometimes you got to play the color card in sports, and when you do, I am your Big Vanilla Vegas dealer, man. Want to welcome everybody. VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct. Right now, we're live on YouTube. Want to thank everybody over there. Want to thank everybody on Twitter, everybody that's on iHeartRadio, everybody that's on Spreaker.com, and everybody right here on my IG. What up, man? Great show for you guys today. Everybody knows the elephant in the room. NBA Finals is up right now. Boston Celtics, Golden State Warriors, tied up at 1, should be 2-0, but we'll get into all of that too, man. Great show for you guys lined up. No special guests. No special guests today. I don't think I'm going to have special guests on in a while. I don't think I'm going to have any special guests on for a while. I want to get back to VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct, where I was doing 2 and 3 hour shows, and I could just carry a show myself. I wish we could play some of the music in the background like we used to be able to, but we can't because they have all these copyright things now. And you got about a 20 to 30 second window before they shut you down anyway. But we are revamping the show. The show is coming back to 5 days a week, man. But we are going back more to radio because it takes a lot to have to set up your camera and set up, as you guys are watching me right now live on StreamYard, or you guys are watching me over here on Instagram. It takes a lot to set these shows up. I'm just not in a basement somewhere, in a dungeon somewhere. I gotta get all this thing. First of all, we got to get this together, partner. This is what put candy in the bag. This is what gets the sponsorship checks. Y'all feel me? We got to get this tight first. And when I was just doing radio, I didn't have to worry about that, man. I might be in my drawers in a tank top doing the show. But we were on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio, so there was no visual. So it was easier to just hop up and do a show whenever I wanted. I never really had to visually or even the technical side prep to do a sports talk radio show. So we are going back to every day, 5 days a week. My man Luis Estrada's over here checking me out, and Rashad Patterson. They know how I get down. I used to do my show every day. We're going back to that because I'm so close to 20,000 downloads, and I'm so close to episode 400. So I want to get there. I want to get to episode 400 before the summer starts, and then that's going to lead into football season, man. So we got Husky bets going on right now too, where our bets are better than your bets. And if you ever lose a bet, you better make sure you look that person or Vegas right in the eye and say, bet it back. Let's run that back, man. So all that's coming up. Also, too, I want to thank everybody that's been supporting Husky Bets and Investing Sports and Veejay Entertainment and Husky Entertainment LLC. On to today's show. We're going to talk NBA Finals. We're going to talk Steph Curry. We're going to talk a little baseball here, and I'll give you guys some picks and some bets. And we're going to talk NHL hockey, Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, Game 4 tonight between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid has been neutralized. He's been effectively and completely taken out of this series. He's meant nothing the last 2.5 games. And it shows. They're down 3-0. A lot of people thought the Avs were the team that was going to come out of the West, and a lot of professional people picked the Avs to win it all. My Rangers are still alive, and I told everybody we go into the Stanley Cup this year. I watched my Rangers this year. Over 50 wins, had an over 50 goal scorer in Chris Kreider. I mean, Mika Zibanejad, just our whole team right now. Everybody. And then, of course, Igor Shesterkin and then as the netminder in the goal. Like we had Mike Richter, okay? And then we had Henrik Lundqvist. And now we have Igor Shesterkin. Like 3 in a row we've nailed franchise goalies. And in hockey, it's about your goaltender and who your netminder is. Baseball in the postseason, pitching, defense up the middle, timely hitting, basketball, defense, superstars, NFL, run the ball, don't turn the ball over, defense in the postseason will get you to the championship round or the championship. So that's what we're seeing with the Rangers. They're up 2-1 right now in the Eastern Conference Finals over the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning's Game 4 in that series coming up tomorrow. They should have won Game 3 last night. They give up a goal with 32 seconds, and it goes right through Shesterkin's, like right through his legs. And he knows it. He just looks back when he sees the puck. He thought he caught it. And he looks over and he sees it slides in, and his head just dropped. The whole team is because if that game was 2-2, it's 2-2. Not if it was 2-2, it's going into overtime. The Rangers are winning that game in overtime. And we're going up 3-0, series over. And the commentator said something very, very key. At about the 4 to about 3.5 minute mark, he said, you can feel the tension in here. Has a Game 7 feel because this is we're 3.5 minutes away from this series all kind of being done by going up 3-0 or making it 2-1. And, you know, they say 2-1, we have a series. You know, we have a series at 2-1. And when 2-1, you do have a series. You have a better series at 1-1, like the NBA Finals right now. But if you're not watching playoff hockey, I've said this before, I will go out on my soapbox. I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care about what your upbringing is. None of that stuff, man. What you played, none of that stuff. If you do not watch playoff hockey, playoff NHL, you are missing out. You're missing out if you do not watch playoff hockey. It's some of the best stuff out there, man. So we'll also get into a little bit of that. But as always, I want to start my opening rant. I don't think we appreciate things in life enough. I really don't. And I like to be an appreciative guy. I really do. I think we all do at some point, whether whatever you appreciate is good or bad. But I like to appreciate things in life. And sports is no different. In sports, I like to appreciate things. Don't mean I have to like you. Don't mean I have to cheer for you. Don't mean I have to sandbag for you. Don't mean I got a jock ride for you. None of that. But I do appreciate what you've brought to the game. LeBron James. Everybody knows I'm not LeBron. I ain't never going to be LeBron. And I'm never going to cheer for him. And I'm never going to be a fan. But I can appreciate what he's brought to the game as far as player movement. Now, it doesn't always look great, but it does allow these young athletes, many of them black men, to be able to maneuver and move and go make their money and go play where they want to play, who they want to play with. Doesn't always work out. But the fact that you have that power, I'm okay with that. I believe he's one of the guys who started that, and I can appreciate that. See, everything I say about LeBron ain't bad. I can appreciate that he brought that to the NBA. I can appreciate that he is a black billionaire athlete who took like his 4 or 5 homies from the neighborhood. I just got off the phone with Chanda. I just got off the phone with Eric Smith. I hollered at Jeremy the other day. I hollered at Bars the other day. I hollered at my man Richie the other day, a.k.a. Super Thin Magnus, my dude. He takes his friends with him. Though all those people I just named, they already know, man. When Vesson, Husky Bets, Husky Entertainment LLC, y'all come with me. You always got to take a few to homeboys, but I can appreciate he's a guy who's done that in sports and basketball. I appreciate my health. I appreciate my kids. I appreciate a really, really good piece of fried chicken, homemade, not from a restaurant, not from fast food, homemade. Someone that took the time to brine the chicken. Someone that took the time to let it marinate and soak in the egg and milk or cream wash or whatever you're going to put it in and season it so that that breading sticks to it, which gives it that crisp. Somebody that knew to put it in the wet, put it in the dry, put it in the wet, put it back in the dry, shake it off like this. All the excess comes off. Let that sit for a minute, but lay it in the grease. Fried chicken. I appreciate somebody that does that and knows how to do that. I appreciate a really good glazed donut from Krispy Kreme. The fact that y'all stay open till 2 a.m. and you keep the light on, which lets you know, if you know Krispy Kreme donuts, that means they're fresh. That means you can stand in the window like this and watch it. You can look at them like this. My thick ass talking about donuts. You can look at them like this, and they're on the grease. Then they come up the conveyor, come down the other side. All that drips off it. Then it goes under the glaze. When you see the glaze, when you see the donut coming, I appreciate Krispy Kreme that you allow me to see that. I appreciate you for that. So there's a lot of things in life I appreciate. And in sports, I appreciate players who play the game the right way, have a little flair, have a little moxie, have a little flash, And there's some people that say he's not that guy. There's a lot that he's not that guy. Like, I can understand sometimes how LeBron fans feel, because I kind of felt that way about Kobe all those years, which all those sayings have been debunked. All the negativity stuff has been debunked. Everything was his fault. Phil Jackson wrote a book. Shaq couldn't play with him. Yada yada. It was all his fault, right? We've heard both those other men come out and say, "Nah, it was all of us." Shaq, you said, "I thought if I can go back, I would probably change that. So I think I've been an asshole to this kid." Kobe, do you remember what you did when you won the All-Star MVP trophy? What'd you do with it? Kobe was like, I don't. Kobe's NBA All-Star MVP. You think Kobe cares about what? It's cool to win it just to stack it up. What, he's got 4 All-Star MVPs? Do you think he really knows what like those trophies are for the All-Star MVP? No, Kobe's like, I don't know. You gave it to my son. That's what I thought right there. I might have been an asshole to this guy. Yeah, debunked. All that old stuff debunked. But as a fan, like I am, you got to understand where I'm coming from, because y'all will say anything, like certain LeBron fans. I understand where they're coming from, because they got certain fans that are coming to them that are saying anything. I'm not that guy, but I see those comments and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm not a fan either, bro, but what you saying is stupid. So I appreciate what people bring to the game and how they do it. That brings me to Steph Curry. Steph Curry does not need our approval. His game and what he's done and how he has helped us appreciate a player, in my opinion, who will take a backseat, draw extra double teams. So the superstar that had to come join my 73-win team, and I love Kevin Durant. I am a huge Kevin Durant fan. But at the end of the day, what some people do say about Kevin Durant is the truth. You had to go join a team that's coming off of a 73-win season. And if they're probably healthy, Bogey didn't get hurt, Draymond didn't get suspended, and Steph isn't playing, honestly, on a 70-75% knee that he had drained that earlier that postseason, missed towards the end of the season with the knee. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not making excuses. I've never made excuses for that finals loss, losing a 3-1 lead. But there's still factors that have been there. That's a knock that he'll take. I get that. But if you watch everything else that he has done, and the way that he has done it, and the way that he has actually affected the game, a really good friend of mine in this industry, man, and also outside of the industry. So I don't always want to use this industry to describe my friends, because I don't even know if I have any in this industry. I know I have some people that mess with me hard and that loves my product and our content and what we're doing here at Best in Sports. I get all that and vice versa. But I don't really know, like, if I have a friend in this industry. But he's a friend in life. Mr. Rob Parker sends me an audio clip the other day. That's really done very well, edited through Fox Sports Radio, some of the editors and producers over there. And it ends up with just him saying, Steph Curry's ruined basketball. He's ruined the NBA. The way all these 3-point shots they're shooting, you know, and I get it because he said it before. He's also a guy I remember texting me, telling me, maybe it was like 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, that Steph Curry was the flavor of the month. I'll never let him forget that. He knows that. But that's kind of what we do in this business, is we like to let the big dogs, and some of the people who know they big dogs, but the rest of y'all don't know that we big dogs. I mean, the last name is Husky. Rob? That wasn't a good dog bark, was it, Sean? That wasn't a good dog bark. Let me try. Yeah, was that better? Oh, no, don't throw this on. No, I don't do that. He threw up for no. They're gonna beat you up. You're not down with them. You're not down with them. They're gonna beat you up, dog. I heard they fight. If you throw their stuff up or something, that's like an educated gang. That's how a fraternity. Those are educated gangs. Those are degreed thugs. Oh man, back to Steph Curry. Back to appreciation. If you look at what Steph Curry's done, man, and I have some numbers here, and I just it's amazing to me. They lose game 1, and it's Steph Curry's fault. Scores 21 or 24 in the first half or something like that. Only had 13 in the second half. Didn't shoot really well in the second half. I believe he was 6 or 17 in the second half. I don't have the numbers right here in front of me. I'm going straight off the Big Vanilla Dome right now. But he didn't have the game that most people wanted him to have or thought that he should have had. Which rightfully so. I don't really have a beef with that. If that's what people think. If people think he should have had a much better game, then cool. He probably should have. But at the other end, too, Boston did score 40 points in the fourth quarter. They went 21 or 41 from the 3-point line. So with that being said, that's also hard to touch too, man. So Real quick, man, this is kind of unexpected, but I do have a call in. I have a call in right now, man. So I do want to pick this gentleman up. I know he is on his break. He actually, I believe he works with monkeys. Yeah, I believe he works with monkeys, and he's on his break from he's on his break from his monkey job. Hold on, bro. I'm trying to connect you to my main speaker so everybody can hear you, man. It's my man PJ, man. He's a stand-up comedian. He performs out in Vegas a lot, man. They have a Vegas After Dark show out there. He's been over there like 37 times. I think he probably about to be the host. I think we have like a young Martin Lawrence and growing here right now, man. So PJ, I'm trying to get you on my big speaker. Hold on, bro. Don't go nowhere. Don't hang up. And if you have to call right back, we can get you to call right back. But I don't understand why I can't get you on my main speaker here. Yo, PJ, you with me, bro? Yeah, I know, I got you, but you're still on speaker, so I'm trying to get you through my system here, man. Give me one quick second. It's all good, player. But anyways, I'm saying about Steph Curry, if you look at game one, he helps them really put them away. They go up 15 off the strength of how Curry is balling. They go up 15 off the strength of that. The bench in the third quarter kind of gave it up a little bit with the momentum, and then in the fourth quarter, they couldn't recover either. I'm not understanding also, too, while Kerr's leaving Curry on the bench until like the 6 and 7 mark in the fourth quarter. This is the NBA Finals. I need him back on the game at like the 9.5 minute mark, the first TV timeout. I need Steph back in the game, especially last night. I know the lead balloon, but I thought that taking him out in the third quarter, I just would never do that. PJ, I'm really trying to figure out. I'm gonna try to switch speakers here real quick, man. Everybody just please bear with me, man. I gotta get this guy on. He's been trying to come on to the show for a minute here. Let me see if I'm on the right, just make sure I'm on the right speaker here, man. I got a couple of speakers here hooked up, bro. So I just want to make sure I put you on the right joint here. So let's see if we get you on this one. And if we can pick you up, man. If we can pick you up, that'd be great. Y'all bear with me here on Spreaker.com. I appreciate everybody listening. Veejay's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm your boy Veejay, Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, and I don't understand why I can't get my homie on this speaker. This is actually PJ. I'm gonna hit you right back, bro. I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna hit you right back, player. All right, man. Let's see what the hell is going on. That just made me mad. My equipment, our equipment around here always working, man. What's good with the speakers and why the speakers aren't coming on? But anyway. When I look at Steph Curry and what Steph Curry has also done to the league, and he doesn't mess the league up. He hasn't ruined basketball. I know Rob Parker loves saying he doesn't ruin basketball. In my opinion, and I wrote a few things down here, I think what Steph Curry's done to basketball is he has opened the game up to the world even more than the game was already opened up to the world. I mean, I believe what he's done is he's given guys who probably would have never had a shot at playing longevity NBA basketball if they weren't able to shoot the way that they can shoot. I mean, you got some of these tall guys and big men that are out on the perimeter shooting, right? And people say you got to get out there to shoot. That's the way the game's going. You got to get out there to shoot. That's the way the game is going. But they don't have the body to play center anymore. Like there's no more Shaqs. Like Rudy Gobert recently saying, he would have locked Shaq down, bruh. Off of just human physics, off of just human bodies and human physics, you don't stand a chance. You can block some hook shots or some of his jump hooks. You might be able to get a dunk or two that you can block or you can dunk on him. Shaq's been dunked on. He admits it. Shaq's been dunked on by big country Brian Reeves. Like he said that was a guy that gave him a lot of problems when he was young and towards the middle of his career, said because he was big, he was heavy. He had thick tree trunk type legs, so Shaq couldn't just post him out. And they said that's when they were used to allow big men to lean on each other. They could actually play defense and play offense in the post, and they can lean on you back in those days. And those are the days that Shaq is referring to when you talk about players like him. But a guy like Shaq couldn't shoot threes today. His form's off. Now I know he loves to show on video that he can launch threes and launch threes and launch threes, but he'd be a 23% three-point shooter if he played in today's NBA game, in the NBA league. If he played in today's era, he'd be 24% from the three. I know he shows a lot of videos of him hitting them, but if he had to take, 100 of them, 150, 175 of them in a season. What do you say? What's Shaq hitting? 30 of those, 40 of those, 45? Yeah, there's your 26%. But we don't have the big man. We don't have the Duncans. We don't have the Shaqs anymore. So it does give tall guys that may not have had that girth, that body, that muscle to still be able to stick around in the game and push themselves out to the perimeter and become a three-point shooter. And that's the Curry effect, whether people like that or not. Like I said, there are people that barely dribble, that can't dribble. Listen, Klay Thompson is in the league because he can defend and shoot the three. He's not a great ball handler. I always get worried when I see him dribbling through traffic. Whenever I see Klay Thompson dribbling through traffic, I get a little worried because it's not a tight handle. It's not and one. That ain't even and one. That's not even and five. But because he can shoot and defend, but because he can flat out shoot. I was having a conversation with my nephew Kendall the other day. Shout out to my nephew Kendall and my new great niece, Ava Locks. Ava Locks is her name. He just had his first kid a week ago, I believe it was. So shout out to Ava Locks, my new great niece out there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Kendall and Jasmine, mother and father, my nephew. But Kendall and I were on the phone talking, and we were talking about if you still can shoot, how long you can play in the league. And we just started going through names and going through players. And like JJ Redick, he can shoot. You know, when you ever say, damn, man, that handle is tight. Yo, have you ever said, yo, JJ, put it on the floor and go to the rack? What? He's getting stripped by just a good defender, not even a great defender. A good defender is stripping JJ Redick if he putting the ball on the ground to go to the bucket. He trying to get to the cup. Ain't no juice for you, bro. You drink milk with your dinner and your steak. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no juice for you for that. But that's what shooting will do. Shooting will keep you around that long in the league, and you'll be able to play 15, 16, 17 years. I come from the era of a Glenn Rice and a Hersey Hawkins and guys like that, Dana Barrows, Dale Curry, hello, Curry, who could just flat out shoot, man, and just fill it up. Patson, you know, Kerr, Veejay, that whole crew, man. If you can just shoot the three, you can stick around for a while. Steph has expanded not to just guards, to even the big man now, because so many big men can shoot the three, because Steph is taking so many of these shots. It pulls the big center, the old Shaq, the old Duncans. They're gone forever out of the league. They'll never be back again. We'll never see that guy again. The game is not tailored for it. That's because what Steph Curry has done to the game of basketball. To me, that's not a bad or good thing. I think it's a great thing because, once again, I believe that opens up basketball to the world for people who don't have all the other skills. But if I can stand out here and shoot far now and be accurate, 38, 39%, 37.3, that's kind of like my barometer. 37.3, that's a good three-point shooter. 40% and up, of course, good three-point shooter. 40 is part of the 90-50-40. The 90 is the free throws. The 50 is the field goals. The 40 is the three-point percentage. So, I mean, if you're 90-40, if you're 90-50-40, you can shoot. A lot of great three-point shooters are close to that. I believe only Larry Bird and Steph Curry are the only two 90-50-40 guys. I think Reggie Miller might have done it a few times too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Reggie ever shot over 50% from the field, though. That's a lot for Reggie. Reggie took a lot of jumpers. He drove to the hoop sparingly, but he took a lot of jumpers. I have to check that, too. Maybe also Rip Hamilton. I'm just trying to go through my head right now. Ray Allen might have been a guy that could have been a 90-50-40 guy. I would have to look those up right now. Yo, Sean, check that. Check how many 90-50-40 guys we've had in the NBA. I know Steph did it. I know Larry Bird did it. And I could be off. I think maybe one of those guys did it twice. I believe so. So somebody will look it up too. The chat room is popping right now, so somebody will look it up too. But I think what he's done, he's opened the game. If you think about the three-point shot, and to me what makes it so great in the way that he's doing it, he already is the all-time leader in the three-point field goals made category, okay? He is on pace right now. Guys, this is Stockton-like. John Stockton, for those of you that don't know, is the all-time leader in assists and steals in NBA history. So I picked assists because that's, Oh, that was Karl Malone. I always say, and I hate to say it too, because I normally ride with my peoples, but I was way more Stockton than it was Malone. With Malone is do set a pick and roll, just have soft hands, get ready for the pass, catch layup or catch dunk or catch 3-foot jump push shot or stop. He had Malone had kind of like that jump stop fall away, little light fall away type jumper where he leaned back on you a little bit. And he had and later in his career, he had great touch. He could turn and face up and he can just release that jumper 12, 13, 15, 17 feet, knock it down. Never had a three ball. Could you imagine if Karl Malone played in this era? He'd have to have a 3-point shot. Think about that, guys. He would have to have a 3-point shot if Karl Malone played in this era. He couldn't play in this era. Even with Stockton, Stockton would have had to put up more threes in this era. And I did a top 10 point guard list too. I'll give you guys the names on that one also here today too. But if you look at the 3-point record for Steph Curry and 3-pointers made, it's Stockton-like. Stockton in assists. He has 15,806 assists. The next closest active person to him, because whoever's second and third aren't going to catch him. Second, third, and fourth, I believe, aren't going to catch him because they're retired. So they can't catch him. And even they were 3,000 plus behind him in dimes. 3,000, not 300, not 350, not even 1,000. 3,000. The next closest current player active right now, CP3, 10,977. That is a difference of 4,829 assists. There are guys on the list that don't have that many in their career. And Chris Paul still would need almost 5,000 assists to catch John Stockton. That's how far he separated himself as an assist man. That's why I don't like nicknames like the point guard. Point guard my ass. I don't know if Chris Paul is top 6 or 7. And I don't think he made my top 6 or 7 on my point guard list top all time. And I'll tell you guys that one in a second. So with that stat being given as far as Stockton as an assist, Steph Curry right now, 3,117 3-pointers made. The next closest person to him active, Harden, 2,593. That's 524 behind him. Behind him is Dame Dollar Dash. My man Dame Lillard, 2,143. He's 974 behind Steph Curry. He is going to be so far in front of these guys in the most difficult shot in the game that some people are saying ruin basketball. How can one man ruin an entire game? Now, you could disrupt the flow of the league. I think that's what LeBron does very well. He disrupts natural flow and tries to make everything unorganically happen in his favor. He doesn't let things just play out and prove you're great by then. He's got to kind of narrate it all himself. So you'll say it. And if you say it enough times and if enough networks keeps telling you, it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true, you'll believe it's true. And that's normally the sign of a narcissist anyway, which is my nickname for him. I call him the narcissist. But if you're going to do something, let it happen naturally. Like Stockton, he spread himself so far away from the next competitor as far as his assists go. No one's ever in the NBA going to have 15,000 assists. Nobody. Magic might have caught it, but Magic said like 10,000 and some change, like 10,100, 10,000 in the 200s. It's 10,000. It's either in the 100 or the 200. So he still had 5,000 to go himself if he'd have kept on that pace with Stockton, but he didn't have him alone. It was just easy to dump it to Malone. Malone would layups, 3-foot little jump push shots, little 8-foot little fall back little jump. I mean, it was just so easy for him. All you gotta do is pick and roll. I'll get the ball, dude, through their legs, around people. I'm the passer. I'm the one getting you the ball. Just make sure you have nice, soft hands for me to be able to drop the ball off to you, and we get buckets that way. So, but when I look at this narrative of he's ruined the game, I'm sorry, I just don't see it. And I mean, if you really look at just the man's career, 3-time champ, 8-time All-Star, steals champ in 15, 16, 2-time MVP, won unanimously. He's on the 75th team, won a scoring title twice. He's a career 24, 5, and 6, 47% from the field, 42% from the three, 91% from the free throw line, and led the league in scoring at over 30 points his 2 times, or over 30 points his 2 times. I'm just trying to figure out, how he's ruined the game. And I'll tell you this, and I'll end it on this, and we'll move on to the NBA Finals. Where I could see that coming from would be the fact that everybody thinks they can shoot these shots. But I have a rebuttal for that. You may be right. Everybody does think that they could probably shoot that shot. And there are a lot of people taking those 3-point shots that shouldn't be taking them. But that's when one of the most important things that I love in sports comes into effect, and it's called self-awareness. You have to be self-aware of who you are. You have to be self-aware of what your game is and what your abilities are. If you're not a great 3-point shooter, you probably shouldn't be jacking them in games. And just because you make them in practice and stuff, don't mean you're going to make them in the games. A player that comes to my mind like that, Marcus Smart of the Boston Celtics. Some nights you're looking at him like, why are you jacking up threes? Because it's just what you do. It's just what you do. But he has to have enough self-awareness that everybody shoots threes, pump fakes at the 3-point line, and fouls on 3-point shots are unbelievably high right now in the NBA and have been for the last 2 years, especially since they changed the rule and they enhanced it a little bit more this year. The way they enhanced that rule, they're penalizing and punishing the offensive players for kicking legs out or slinging fists out. So you're seeing a whole bunch of fouls on both sides on the 3-point line. But if a guy like Marcus Smart said, I'm going to pump fake all day long, take 3 dribbles in, stop and pop jumper, and add to my mid-range, he would average 17, 18 points a game. That would add another 6 points. Think about it. If he averages 11, if he pump fakes on 3-point attempts per game and takes 2 or 3 dribbles in to an 18-foot jumper, he shot 500 times a day in the offseason, he'd average 6 more points because he'd hit those shots. If he did it 4 or 5 times, he might average 19. But think about it. Boston could have a 27 point per game guy, Tatum, 24 point per game, Brown, and a 19, 20 point per game guy, Marcus Smart. But because we're told and they're told, stay on the 3-point line, shoot that 3, that's self-awareness. That's not Steph Curry's fault. How you blaming Curry for that? You can't say he ruined the league because everybody's taking that shot. Tell them to have better self-awareness. And then he doesn't have to worry about people blaming him. Oh, you don't have to worry about trying to blame Steph Curry for so-called ruining the league, man. Curry does not need our approval. Steph Curry is already a top 20, top 15 player of all time, just for the simple fact of what he's done, the rings he's won, how many he's won them, the MVPs he's won, and the way he is made a quantum leap in the game of basketball and with the NBA, and it's global. Like you're seeing guys in European leagues, I'm watching highlights. These dudes are jacking. They weren't shooting like that before. Backdoor, Princeton style, hard body cut, 90s Pistons, 89, 88 Pistons type defense. They don't do that anymore. That doesn't mean that he's ruined the game or the game is bad. You got to have self-awareness, man. Just because what Big Mama used to say, if everybody go jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, you gonna go jump off too? Some of y'all would. That's why y'all react to the sports talk the way y'all do sometimes. All right, NBA Finals, guys. Series is tied up 1-1. You got Golden State, you got Boston. We don't have to go through a lot of the numbers or a lot of the things there. What I did do, though, is I've already spoke about how I thought Game 1 kind of went. My homeboy Carlton Mack, who's actually over here on IG watching the show right now, he texted me the other day after Game 1. Now, I hadn't seen the game yet because I was at work all day. Hadn't seen the game yet. I was going to watch it on DVR later, like I do pretty much all my sports because everything plays out here so early in Los Angeles. So he asked me, what'd you think of your thoughts on Game 1? I said, I haven't watched it yet. But I watched it late that night. I texted him. He responded. My text to him were, Boston hit 21 of 41 in threes, 40 points in the fourth quarter. There's the game. There's nothing else to say. Now, we can nitpick and we can try to blame somebody like a lot of the debate shows do every single morning that we're all, hopefully, I've been burnt out on it for about 5-6 years, and I'm hoping that people are starting to catch up with me. Oh, so I'm sorry. I thought someone was taking another take. That's why I hear. What's your take on this? Or yo, that's a strong take. I don't have tanks. I don't have takes, tits, toddlers. I do got 2 toddlers. They're gonna come in here in a second too. I already know. Y'all probably gonna see my son. My son gonna pop up in here in a minute. But I don't have takes. I have sports talk opinions. I have an opinion. I don't have takes. I hate that word. I hate that word as much as I hate hater. I do. Oh, I got haters, or he hating on you. He's like, all right, well, I mean, You don't like me, I don't like him. It's cool. Neither one of us hating. How about that? We just don't vibe. Our souls aren't connected in any type of way with anything that we would. Right? You agree with anything that we do? It's why would I hate on you? You're not for me. I'm not for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't like raw Brussels sprouts. I like mine a little saute, a little salt, pepper, a little balsamic vinegar on them, real healthy for you, real good. But just because I don't really like them raw, don't mean I'm a hater on raw green baby cabbages. Come on, man, get out of here. That's crazy. Like the way we do sports talk today. Anyway, NBA Finals, man. Game 1. My man Carlton texted me. I told you what I said to him. 21 to 41, 3-point shots, 40 points in the fourth. There's the game. Of course, the next day, it's all Curry's fault. Or he needs the rant. Needs the rant to close games out for him. Or Steve Kerr's fault. No, 21 to 41 from the 3-point line. 40 points in the fourth quarter. There's the game. I don't care what happened in the first 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, you gave up 40. That's the game. You would have had to have had a 41-point lead going into the fourth, not to lose the game. Who has a 41-point lead going into the fourth in today's NBA? Nobody. So if a team scores 40 on you, bro, you better score 35, 36. Because if that's even a 4 or 5, 6-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you lose that game. But you lose the game because you gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter. So it wasn't nobody's fault. Wasn't Kerr's fault. Wasn't Curry's fault. Wasn't Clay's fault. We'll talk about Clay in a second. Draymond, we'll talk about Draymond in a second. Jordan Poole, we'll talk about Jordan Poole in a second. We'll talk about all these guys in a second. But I want to stay away from the blame game and just enjoy the finals. And what I saw last night really should have been what game 1 was. It should be 2-0 Golden State going back to Boston with 2 ass kickers. They're up 15-17 in game 1. This game, they got right up to 15-16, ballooned to 20-25, got to 30. It was like game over. That's what they should have done in game 1, and they didn't. And then maybe you withstand the 40-point barrage in the fourth quarter or the 21 threes. Maybe. You might still lose that game, but it's not as shocking. They were shell-shocked and in shock. But back to Steph Curry. Steph Curry sets up the great first quarter. What is that, 21? In the first quarter, it's like, here, guys, let me set y'all up. If you notice game 2, it took them a while to get going, and it made it look like Boston's defense was playing so great. What I saw was a guy who was just looking and saying, okay, it's not going to be the same from the other night. They definitely are giving me all those open looks early. What they did in game 1, they're giving them open looks because they're misplaying the pick and roll. They're going under. It's like, you can't go under on Steph. You got to fight or switch that. He needs this much space. He literally needs that much space. You got to fight that. You got to fight through that. Or let me see what we got. Chief Rocket Jersey want to get on here, man. So anybody that want to get on, they're more than welcome to come on here, man. So somebody asked, request to come in. When you're ready to come in, you can come in. Chief Rock, I got beef with you anyway. Yeah, bring your ass in here, man. Bring your ass in here. We got something to talk about anyway. But Steph Curry set it up for him. He set it up for him in game 1. And then in game 2 last night, it looked like he was trying to figure out who else was going to be there for him to help him. And once he couldn't figure that out, and it really didn't show. And like I said, we'll talk about Clay in a second here. But once he couldn't figure that out, then he asserted himself. And 8 turned to 10 points, and then he had 12, then he hit a 3, then he had 15. Once you saw him get going, and even going into the half, they went into the half with a 2-point lead, and they probably should have been down 10 points. But he comes out in the third quarter, and what does he do? He comes out smoking hot, and he gives his team another 15, 16-point lead, and then they take it over the top and finish the game off. If his teammates do that in game 1, they're up 2-0. I still think this is 5 or 6 Golden State. Now, remember, they have like a 29 series run consecutively where they've won at least one road game. So they're taking either game 3 or 4 in Boston. So they're leaving Boston 3-1 or they're leaving Boston 2-2. They're not leaving Boston 3-1. 3-1 down. They're either leaving 3-1 up or they're leaving 2-2. But they're getting one of those games in Boston because it's just what they do. So right now, man, listen, this is a dude I go way back with, man, on Sports Talk Radio, man. But we beefing right now, dog, because I ain't heard from this dude in like 2 years. And he was supposed to get back to me on some shit in Atlanta, and he ain't never get back to me, man. And man, bring your ass in, man. Hold on, let me just turn my volume, man. Bring your ass in here, man. Bring your ass in here, man. What's up, bro? Nah, man. Don't even. You know what? Don't even. Michigan. Then beat them weak ass Buckeyes. You've been incognito, bro. It don't matter. See, there you. It don't matter. Do you think they saying that? No. You know what they saying? We gotta beat them next year. They're not. They're not walking around saying, "Oh, well, it's only once." So knock it off. Are you serious? Man, listen, stop. If you ain't even got to say that, if I'd have known all of that, you think look, you already know I'm sideways messing with you anyway, man. You know I'll be on my clown, man. You know I'm a comedian. I'm sorry. We gonna talk private. We gonna talk private. I'm gonna call you. We gonna talk private, man. Let's talk some sports real fast, man. You watching the finals at least? Talk. What are you watching right now? You don't have to say you're not a Boston fan. Just tell me why you disagree with me. So what are you disagreeing with though? What are my point? What is my point you're disagreeing with? How about this? How about this? If Boston take both those games, I'll buy you dinner. All right. If Boston, it's a one-way bet. You don't owe me nothing. But if Boston win both those games, if they win both those games, I'll DoorDash. You find something you want to eat one night, you call the DoorDash people, I'll pay for it. I'll buy you dinner one night. Golden State taking with 29 straight playoff series since they've had that three there, that they've won one road game in every playoff series. That's what championship teams do. They don't just win at home. They win on the only championship team, and I don't know in history, but what I know that comes to mind, the Jesus Shuttlesworth big ticket P2 Celtics that one year. You remember that Eastern Conference run? They lost every road game. Yeah, they won, but they won every home game and got to the finals. Their first road playoff win came in game 4 when the Lakers were up 26 points and blew that lead, that game. Yeah. Yeah. So no, they're okay. So back to the main topic. Yes, Golden State is taking one. If you think Boston take it, here's my thing with Boston. I really do like that team. They remind me of early 90s, late 80s team. They really do. Now the rules are different, but just their style, their demeanor. I'm not a big fan of Williams, the young kid out of Tennessee, but I like how he plays. And I like the way Robert Williams plays. And I like the way, but I've always liked Marcus Smart. I liked him when he was at Okie State. I always thought he was going to be a good NBA player. Jason Tatum. I had Chris Broussard on my show the day he got drafted before the draft started that day. We did a show like midday. We both did our mock drafts, and we both said we would have taken Jason Tatum number 1 overall instead of Markelle Fultz, because you remember the trade went down for Philly to move up, and Boston moved down and ended up getting Tatum. So I like their team. I even like the coach, man. His whole story. I remember that guy. He was on that Popovich staff for a lot of years. So he already got rings. This ain't new to him. It's new to all the other players. But when I look at this team, Chief Jersey Rocker, I don't see. I see a finals team. I just don't see a championship team. No. I'm glad you mentioned that. In this business, that's called a segue because it's going to segue into my next topic. I want to talk about, I wrote down problems that I think each team is having. I wrote down problems that I think each team is having. The first problem that's going on is Klay Thompson. We'll get to him in a second. The second problem going on to Golden State, in my opinion, is Draymond Green. We'll get to him in a second. I only wrote one problem down for Boston because I couldn't really find another problem. I only wrote one problem down. It's Jason Tatum. Now, let me explain this because I like the kid. But we have got to get out of this world in this realm of trying to find the next Kobe or the next LeBron and just let it happen. Like Wade wasn't the next anybody. He just became Dwayne Wade. He wasn't the next shit. He just became Dwayne Wade. I wrote some names down here. Kobe, Dirk, KG, Paul Pierce, Tony Parker, AI, Duncan, T-Mac, Shaq, D-Wade. You would agree all those guys I named are like the greats from the last era that we just closed that door, right? That door's closed. All those guys are retired or gone. Melo, LeBron, they're from this era because they're still playing. That era's shut and gone. When I look at all these young guys around the league, even a Jimmy Butler, a Giannis Antetokounmpo, a Devin Booker, legitimate young Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson. There's not a guy I see on the list of the names I named from that era that I look at today and go, he's the next K. There's no next KG. There's not another KG coming through the. We're not getting another Tim. We're not getting another Tim Duncan. Now, Tony Parker, I would say, you might like this too. I would say we did get him again, but we got him at 6'7", and that would be Luka at the point position. Okay, cool. See, we on the same thing. All right. We're not getting another AI. We'll never see that. We'll never see that style of player at the point guard position ever again. We're not getting another Kobe. We might get another Dirk, but good luck finding another 7-foot German or from Yugoslavia or something. I mean, good luck finding that. They were going to do that. They'd have done that already. But I look at, and I say all that to say, when I look at Jason Tatum, and I hear people tell me he's going to be the next one, Chief Jerky Rocker. That's you right, like a certain guy on a certain network famously said Devin Booker was the next Kobe Bryant, right? How did that turn out in the playoffs, and how the hell did that end? Next Kobe, my ass. Keep that. Yeah. So I look at Jason Tatum, and just really quick, just in this series, 38 minutes a game, he's averaging 5 of 18 from the field. He's shooting 31% from the field. He's lucky he's shooting 50% from the three, or that 30 would be like 28, 29%. Is a minus 10 PR. He's averaging 20 points a game after averaging 27 in the season, 27 last season, 23 the year before that. So when I put all that together, bro, I look and I go, the problem is the guy that you guys keep telling me is this next mega superstar. He's a really good player. He's not a great player yet because Barkley said it about 3-4 weeks ago where he made the comment about driving the bus. When you drive the bus, you ain't never been a bus. Kenny got all in arms and the shit spread over social media for like 3 or 4 days. People kept referencing back to that. I did a show about Barkley because I got tired of people disrespecting Barkley because people forget. You and I are old enough to remember at one point he was one of the top, if not the second, the third best player in the league for a good straight 4 years. Like nobody could deal with Barkley. Nobody could deal with Barkley. So when it goes back to that driver comment, and Barkley said, when I was the man, ain't nobody ever had hold me to 20 points average of a playoff series. I don't think I ever averaged 20 points when I was the man. Everything falls on me. I'm the bus driver. Jason Tatum is in the NBA Finals, and he's averaging 20 points, shooting 31%. If that was Kobe or if that was Steph, they would be murdering them. But what they keep glossing over is how great Boston's defense is and yada, yada, yada. So I'll let you take it from here. My problem with them, and it like I said, this could be 2-0 People are not this could be 2-0, but his boys backed him up. And just real quick, and I'll let you take this. First game, 26 points for Horford. Game 2, 2 points. First game, and this is coming off the dome. I just remember seeing it last night. The kid White, 21 points in the first game, 12 in game 2. Marcus Smart, 18 points in the first game, 2 points. They are combined for 16 points after combining for over 55, 60 points. If they don't hold him down in that first game, they're down 0-2, and I feel like the media would be making excuses for Tatum. And like I said, I like him. And I like the fact that he worked out with Kobe, and he had the Kobe wristband on his elbow, paying homage, and showed his shoes. I like all of that, but you can't do all that, bro, and then show up to the finals in the first 2 games. You average at 20, and you're supposed to be one of the next new guys. I'll let you take it from there.
Well, see, this is his problem, right? He forgot how to play team ball like he did in the Olympics when he got that gold medal. All right? You got to get your team in the game. You got to keep them in the game. And then that'll pick you up later on. The third, fourth quarter, do your thing. The first 2 quarters, Jason Tatum was taking too many shots. He's forcing the issue, turning the ball over. What I mean by turnovers with, I said,
Unforced turnovers.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's been, you need to stop it. You remind me of Julius Randle doing that BS.
Oh.
You got to stop doing that, man. 6'9", 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, Tatum's like 6'8", like 6'7", 6'8".
Take the ball to the hole, man.
Yep.
You have athletic ability. And then when he do go to the hole, it's like he's fragile. Like he's scared Draymond Green or somebody gonna come down on him. If you're gonna be what they said, the bus driver like Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
You gotta drive that bus and be passing, get your team in the game. Basketball against Miami, he showed a little bit of that, but you know what it is? Their coach is so good. I think the games they win is off him because he is telling them after a loss or a bad loss like last night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not giving no rest. He's telling them, listen, I done been there. I know what I'm doing. You gotta follow me. If you can't follow me, then what's the sense even playing? And he's right. He's the leader of the team, but he wants his team to have a court leader. You know, Marcus Smart can be that, but sometimes he get outraged and he want to shoot.
Yep.
You and Jason Tatum get the other 3 into the game. But Al Horford, if you take the ball in the hole, you get back out to him, he gonna make that.
Yep.
You know, he may not make it with people jumping in his face a lot, but he's gonna make that open shot.
Yep.
And hold up. I've seen Jaylen Brown play high school ball. He's not playing nothing like he did in high school. In high school, he was a beast, man. He was the wheel of eye.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. What? I was going to bring him up because he started hot last night, and he was another guy that fizzled out. Like listen, I don't want to rain on Boston's parade because once again, they got a black coach. He's doing a great job. I like their team, man. I even like when Tice plays well. I like when Pritchard plays well. When they got the kind of team. Like, there's nobody you can really dislike or hate. So, but I'm not a Celtics fan, so I'm not going for them. I'm more of a Steph fan, so I'm going for the Warriors to win a championship. But if the Celtics were playing anybody else in these finals, bro, from the West, I'll probably be pulling for the Celtics to win the finals because I like their team. I just don't see them once again as a championship team because, they sweep the Nets, and but we know the Nets had 2 guys. Okay, let's not poo-poo it, guy. We know they had 2 guys, and we know the guys didn't play together for a long period of time, and they took a lot of flack for mentioning that after it was over. But if they'd have said it during the series, we all would have said they were trying to find an excuse or early excuse. But once we get swept, we haven't played together a lot. It is what it is. You know, you guys keep asking us, so now we're finally answering it. Now we're the ones using it as an excuse. That's number 1. Then you get to the second round, and it does take you 7 games to beat a Middleton list Bucks squad who didn't have their second best player, an all-star player, all 7 games. And then game 7, it takes a guy like Williams, the kid from Tennessee, to score 27 points and hit 6 threes in a game 7 at home as a role player coming off the bench. Nobody sees 27 points coming from Williams that day. So they had these moments. And then if you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, it takes you 7 games to pretty much beat up I think a Heat number 1 seed that a lot of people didn't see them as a true number 1 seed. They were the number 1 seed, but we know Philly had some injuries and some COVID stuff. We know the Nets weren't whole all year long. Like, when you know these things, even Boston, they start off 23-24, and then they go on some stupid run where they only lose 13 games from that point till now, till the other night. Well, the other night would have been their 14th game that they've lost since like January 23rd. They've only lost 14 games. Dude, we're in June, and they've only lost 14 games. So we know that there's been things in the Eastern Conference that kind of made them Chicago. They're rolling, right? Ball goes down, Levine goes down, Caruso goes down, season over. Like, real talk, season over. Chicago, not saying they would have finished 1, but Miami didn't get to that 1 seed, Jers, until, it started to, some of the stuff started to happen to some of the other teams. So they play a team like that where Jimmy gives them all these guys, and Jimmy even takes a game-winning shot in Game 7. And Jimmy's probably thinking, listen, I ain't got no legs, man. I'm done. Like, we going home. We going to Cabo on me, or we going to the finals on me. Simple as that. And I didn't mind the shot at all. So this is the Boston team that we're seeing. And then in the first 2 games, it just feels like there's always a game they win. You look at it and you go, yeah, but man, did that other team play bad. Like, man, like if you look at Game 7 against the Heat, the Heat played horrible for the first 2 quarters. Like, I couldn't believe it was a Game 7. It looked more like a summer league effort than it did a Game 7 Eastern Conference final. Right? I'm watching them, and I remember looking at who I was watching the game with, and I was like, damn, they just look lethargic. Their energy just looks. Wow, I hope they pick it. I remember tweeting, the Heat better wake the hell up real fast. I don't know what club they was at last night, but they better wake up real fast. So I say all that to say, I look at this Boston team, and it's going to be one of those things where they're going to have to win it to prove me wrong, and I'll be the first thing I do when I come on the show the next morning is I will say how wrong I was about the Boston Celtics, and they proved me wrong, and and they won a championship. But I just went back to Tatum and Brown. These are your 2 best guys. They have yet to have the Batman and Superman superstar type game that we are used to seeing 1-2 punches have. And here's another thing, and I'll let you bounce back off of this. We ain't had the Clay game yet. We know it's coming. I know Clay's struggling. We all know Klay Thompson is struggling. All you got to do is put the damn game on. 35 minutes. He's averaging 5 of 17 from the field, 30% from the field, 2 of 7. He's averaging 3 points. That's 27%. 13 points with a -4.5 PER. We know that's not him. I have no idea what's going on, but I do know this. We know what Clay game is coming. And speaking of which, I haven't talked to you in a while. I started my own sports betting company called Husky Bets. It's going really well for me. My goal this year, I know you're going to be like, what? My goal this year, though, is to make $500,000 in sports betting through my company and helping people out with their bets and stuff like that. But the reason why I say all that is to bring up, yeah, man, I'm on some real big entrepreneur. Yeah. I am. I'm on some real. But I did my bets for the finals, and I picked and the only reason why I'm bringing this up because one of the bets were who would have the highest point total gain in the in the finals, and I think I took Clay. Clay is a plus 1,000. So if you put 100 down, you get 1,100 back. He's a plus 1,000 to have the highest just single game in the finals. Now, Steph already has a 34 and a 31. I think Steph is good for another 35 or 36. But Clay is the kind of guy that'll have 46, 51. Like he has one of those 11 for 19 3-point. That's just 3-pointers. 11 and 19. He's got one of those in him. Hey, you know what? It's okay. So see, you got me wanting to bet you. You got me wanting to bet you and shit now, man. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say the Clay game comes in game 4. So even if Golden State wins Wednesday night, Friday night is going to be the Clay game. And that's when I told you they're either going back to Oakland, San Francisco, they moved. They're either going back 2-2 or up 3-1. They're not going back down 3-1. Because Clay's going to have the Clay game. And it's just poetic for it to be on the road. And I like 41, 42 type points, 8 or 9 made threes, 6 or 7 from the free throw line, a couple of boards, a couple of steals, really no assists because he's jacking all night. So really no dime, maybe 2 dimes because he's jacking. But we haven't had the Clay game yet. And when we do, that's when this series is gonna it's coming. It's coming. So I say game 4. You say it ain't happening. I say game 4. Yeah.
He's not in that grinding condition because they're stopping him from going to the hole. And when he goes to shoot that 3, they all up in his face. Clay likes to move off of, like, he likes to make a move and run to that spot and get the ball, catch and shoot. He's not getting that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to get the point. I mean, I want you to win the money, brother, but if I had the money, I would put it on Clay right now.
Yeah. Well, hold on here. I'll tell you what my whole finals pick. Because I put it out there, and this is for all my fans and all my subscribers. My website's almost done. It'll be a subscription-based website. I'll put my picks out in every sport every day, and then I'll have like a guaranteed Super 2 or Super Bonus parlay where people can win some extra money. I don't collect any money from anybody except for your subscription fee. It's like Netflix. It's like HBO Max. It's $49.99 a month, or it's $399 for the year. It's way cheaper than what guys in Vegas that people aren't getting picks right with and ain't really winning no real money with. Because I'm going to specialize in a bunch of plus bets and plus picks and a bunch of parlays and prop bets. So, but I had Warriors in 6. That was a plus 550. So 100 gets you 650 back. I wanted it in 5, but that was only like a plus 425. So I was like, okay, so Vegas feels this is Warriors in 6 to have it at plus half, almost half to a G. Curry Finals MVP plus 110. Warriors winning the series, which is weird, is a minus 150. So Vegas feels like, no, they're winning this series, even though Sports Illustrated or whoever was trying to put out that BS survey that said that 92% or something like that said that that the Celtics were winning the finals. I'm like, 92%. All right, where the hell did that come from? Clay, I already told you about that. That's the highest game scoring. That was at a plus 1,000. And then in game 1, I actually took the Dubs in 3.5 with the minus 3.5. They lost that one. But I have Steph Curry right now. Oh, this was another good one. I have Steph Curry at a plus 25 point per game average, was a plus 120. So if he averages just 25 points plus for the whole finals, and then, you're going to love this one. Warriors with 2 road wins in the series wins me a plus 165. I already got one because Boston already won their game on the road. Golden State going to go win their game on the road, and I'm going to cash in that plus 165. So those were my finals. Yeah, those were my finals. But no, man, Husky Bets is I'm deep in it, man. Yeah, because I got you, man. I'll send you. Like I said, we going chat. We're going to chat over the phone privately, bro. Yeah, because I didn't know. Because I even lost track with all those guys, man. All those guys from ATL, even John. And John and I used to live back in the hood, back in the DMV together. And I haven't talked to John in like 2 years, man. But I did put my head down. I had some stuff happen over here, too. I put my head down and I just started grinding, man. You see, I moved. I got a new little setup and everything. And I'm on 5 or 6 platforms. I'll be on Fox Sports Radio. Oh, I can plug my Fox joint right now. Saturday, I'll be on Fox Sports Radio out here in Los Angeles with Aaron Torres, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., 4-hour show. Pacific time. So it'll be 10 to 1 a.m. For you guys back east. But if you got the iHeartRadio app, and if you just go to Fox Sports Radio on the iHeartRadio app at 10 o'clock, it's only going to run the top show that's running. So I'll be on that joint, man. So you can lay back, late at night, man, and you know what I'm saying, listen to your boy. That sounded mad fruity though, me telling you to lay back late at night and listen to your boy. That sounded I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know, man. That's my comedy in me, man. Yeah. That did sound mad sus though. The way I said it, I was like, yeah, man. So light you some incense and shit, yo. Get you some candles. Get you some chocolate. Get you some chocolates, and yeah, listen to your boy. You mean our Rangers? Did you? Yeah, I was about to say you mean our Rangers. Did you hear me talking about it early, dog? We should be up 3-0. But Tampa Bay, I wasn't mad at the goal last night because it's late. Dog, Igor Shesterkin right now is playing some of the best netminer. This is having Mike Richter, Hendrik Lundqvist. Like, bro, he's gonna etch himself with those guys. Yeah. And if he get a cup, Hendrik, like Lundqvist don't have a cup. He got all the numbers. He got all the, Lundqvist don't have a cup though, bro. If Igor gets a cup, it was almost like Alex Ovechkin, right? Sidney Crosby got lucky. He got drafted to a much better run franchise, and then you put all those other stars and veterans around him, and you're coming in right behind Mario Lemieux, and he's up in the skybox in the front office, so he knows what the hell he's doing. But I always told people once Ovechkin got that ring, he would get the right respect that he always deserved. Because I always felt like Ovechkin was like Kobe. You know what I'm saying? After Shaq, where it's like, dude, you know it's coming. It's just they just got to get, and then they got him Backstrom and got him a good goaltender and turned things around, made some playoff runs, and then finally he had that offseason where he said all he did was train. It was time to go get Lord Stanley, and he did. If Igor can get one, Kreider, all those guys, man, Mika Zibanejad, if all those guys can get a cup, man, it would really, man. Oh yeah, we have our kid line. Come on, our kid line right now is stupid. All right. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I've always been a Yankee hater. I don't know if I ever told you that, but I have. I always been a. Oh, don't. But I respect the season they have. I respect the season. I'm playing fantasy baseball for the first time. I got two teams. I'm in two different leagues playing fantasy baseball. I named one after my son, and then the other one after my daughter. So I am I'm in fantasy. So I'm following baseball real tight. I'm watching the Yankees, and I'm like, yeah, this is the season that they thought they were gonna have in 2020 when things got short. When the season got knocked down to 60 games because they were coming off that year. They were coming off from that previous year. Hold on, man. They say my video's paused. Oh man, what? They blocked my account? My account been locked? Oh, they said my shit was. Man, are you kidding me, young people trying to break into my account? Ain't that something? People trying to get into my. I've been having. Sorry, guys, over here live right now. I've been having some issues with my Instagram, and now my Instagram live just told me that my account has been locked because there's been some suspicious activities on my Instagram. So whoever was messing with it the other day is trying to mess with it again. Oh boy, I tell you. I told you guys I don't like the word hater, but sometimes, man, there's always a hater. It's always somebody trying to mess up what you got going on. Always somebody trying to interrupt and mess up what you got going on. And now my live feed is gone. Ah, word. That's how y'all playing now? All right, well, we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. It said my account has been locked. Anyway, all right, so we'll move on. I'm sorry, man. I got cut off from my man Jersey Chief Rock, and that's messed up because I can't even save that to my account now. That actually really pisses me off that I can't even save it to my account now or my page because we'll try again in a few minutes. Oh man! All right. Anyway, man. So as we were talking about baseball, real quick, Aaron Judge, he's right. He bet on himself. He decided to say, "Hey, I don't want that money. I'm gonna have a good season. I'm gonna have a great season because he's having a great season. Leads the league in majors, and the Yankees have the best record in baseball. And it looks like that they are on pace to do what they always do, and that's win a lot of baseball games, get to the postseason, and make it hard for anybody to beat them. They have the pitching, they have the bullpen, they have the bats." To get it done, which they're showing right now. So, anyway, man, back to the NBA Finals. I was talking to my man, Chief Jersey Rocker, and also talking about the things that I saw that I think that each team has a problem. And Golden State's got a few. Now, they should still be up 2-0, but Golden State's got a few problems because you got to get Clay going. And with Draymond Green, listen, it's a novelty. It's great that he doesn't want to score, but I do believe a guy like him in the finals has to look to score. And they got to be good shots too, man. They can't. You could tell that it's some of his shots and the way he pushes the ball on that little one-hand push jumper. He hadn't been really working a lot on his offensive game because he facilitates and plays defense and is a guy that the emotional leader. The emotional leader is what I'm looking for. He's the emotional leader. He's gonna cause ruckus and cause some problems for people, man. He's also a guy that I think at this point in his career, you gotta start putting up some buckets too. We're in the finals. We're in the NBA Finals. Draymond Green at 36 minutes a night, averaging 2 of 8, 27% from the field, 0% from the three-point range, 8 boards, 6 assists, and 6.5 points a game. I need 15 a game from Draymond in the finals. Maybe not the first, second round, maybe in the conference finals. Can I get 12 or 13? But in the finals, I need 15, 8, and 6. 15, 7, and 9, something like that from Draymond Green every single game in the finals. I need that from him. He is too important not to score buckets, and you know there's always going to be a night somebody's going to be off. And we've seen it be Clay so far. Clay's been the odd man out, and Clay's been the guy that's been off. They got to figure that out. Draymond's got to be more assertive. Jordan Poole, everybody kept trying to point the blame at the role players, and you got to be better than they were the other night. But once again, Boston had 40 points in the fourth quarter in game one, 21 to 41 from three-point range. There's the game. I don't care about nothing else. Who didn't score? Who didn't do this? You're giving up 40 points in the fourth quarter. You're giving up that many three-pointers. Do the math. It was 3 times 21. That's how much they scored from the three. And what's ironic is they hit 15 last night. And so did Golden State. Both went 15 to 37 from the field in three-point. So they were both still jacking up almost 43s. They hit 6 less. Now, they also had some other things not go right either because when you're not hitting threes and other people aren't open and all that passing is contagious, all that shit goes away when you're not hitting threes. They weren't hitting threes last night. Al Horford, 26 points game one, 2 points game two. Marcus Smart, 18 points game one, 2 points game two. White, 21, 22 game one, 12 game two. All that came down. They weren't shooting. They were still hitting threes. And I remember telling my homeboy Germany Turner the other day, we were talking about Jason Tatum, and he said, and Tatum, they lost, man, and Boston won, and Tatum didn't have a great game. I said, yeah, but if Tatum has a great game, do all those other guys get off? No. And I thought last night Tatum came out swinging, him and Brown, and they didn't get other guys involved and expected other guys to get involved themselves. And you got a guy like Horford that gets 2 points. Marcus Smart gets 2 points. All those guys sat in the fourth. That game was a wrap. That game was over. Before it even begun, that game was over. I'm sorry, guys. I have to get my IG back up and running for some reason. Like I said, I'm not sure why. My account's been compromised. I don't know if that's somebody trying to get in my account again or whatever the case is, but this is getting really tiresome that people don't have nothing else to do but try to get in my stuff. Try to be all in my Kool-Aid. Oh, there's my son. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me get the door. Let me let my son in. I know he wants to come in. There he is. Come on, buddy. What's up, homie? Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back. My bad. What's up? Don't mess with that candle, man. It's hot. What you doing? You hungry? I'm almost done with the show, man. Daddy's gonna finish wrapping us up, and then we're gonna get some food. We're gonna get some dinner. What you want to eat, homie? What you want? Come here. You want to say what's up to the people? Come here. Y'all see my son? Y'all see Cameron? For those of y'all that ain't seen Cameron in a while, they go Cam. And of course he's gonna mess with the microphone because that's always what Cam does is mess with the microphone. Oh, I'm sorry. I show you a diaper. You ain't got no. You just out here in your drawers. You just out here chilling in your drawers, B? Hold on, let's pull the camera down so they can see it. There you go. You just out here in your drawers, man? So when I look at the problems that Golden State has as opposed to the problems that Boston have, I think the only problem Boston has, Jason Tatum's just got to be better. I think the rest of that team will play better if he's playing better. And I think that'll happen in game 3. Like I said, Golden State's taking one of these games. They're taking one or they're taking both. But I think I might give the edge to Boston in game 3. I think Golden State's going to bounce back and have a great game 4. And I think that's the Clay game. We waiting on that Clay game. The Clay game is coming. So we're waiting on the Clay game. So we know that, but we know that's coming. But when I look back over here to Golden State, it's not Poole. It's not Iguodala missing another game. They haven't been playing with Iggy over a month. Iggy, he had a shot or two in game 1, but, I mean, he was on the floor when that comeback started, and he was all over the place. And Iggy, his body, it ain't the same no more, man. He hurt again. He out. I don't know how long, but he didn't play last night. He didn't suit up last night. He out. But when I look at Draymond and I look at Clay, I need both. I need more from both of them. I definitely need more from Draymond. Draymond's got to give me 15. Clay's got to wake the hell up. And I'm not sure what it is. Sometimes when you shooters, they just – remember Ray Allen had a run like that in the playoffs one year for Boston where he just couldn't hit nothing for like the first 2.5 or 3 series. And then in the conference finals, it just came alive, man. But you just got to keep shooting. He hasn't had a full season in 2 years, missed 900-plus games. Legs might not be there. His body could be letting him down right now. A lot of his shots do look like he's floating to the left or the right, especially off of pin downs. Anything lined up or straight where his body is symmetric and goes up and down, he's hitting those shots. He looks good on those. Too many threes, he's fladed to the left or to the right. I know we've seen him hit those before, but it feels like he's doing it now because his legs just won't carry him straight up. He lets his momentum carry him left or right. His turnaround jumper and the step back, the old Dirk type of step back on the baseline, he's hit that shot really well in the postseason. Even last night and in game 1 also, he's that step back baseline or left to or right to the elbow or the wing, he's hit that shot. That shot looks good. But we need Clay back. I'm going to call him Clay. Mama going to call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay back. We need that guy back. That's their 2 problems. And if Jason Tatum turns his thing around, he'll be just fine too. But in game 3, we'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll preview a little bit more in game 3. Plus, we'll preview also game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Tampa Bay Lightning, 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and also in the New York Rangers. And then tonight, I'll definitely be checking out the Avalanche and the Oilers. I think the Oilers get this one tonight and just don't want to get swept, but they've got to figure out what they're going to do to loosen up Connor McDavid, free him up a little more so he can actually get on the board and get scoring and get going. he has been just totally neutralized in the Western Conference Finals. At the Avalanche have taken him completely out, and they have a great goal netminder over there too. The Colorado Avalanche do. So, like I said, this has been they've been a great hockey team all year long. A lot of people picked them to come out of the West. A lot of people picked them to win it. It's not surprising. I'm surprised they're up 3-0, but it's not surprising that they're a step away from the Stanley Cup Finals, where I am praying, and I'm telling you, I'm not praying. I know they're going to meet my New York Rangers there. They're going to meet the New York Rangers there for that, and that'll be a great series. Colorado, New York Rangers. I picked the Oilers, so doesn't look like I'm going to be cashing in. Doesn't look like I'm going to be cashing in there. So, other than that, man, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Veejay's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. As you see, this one's getting rowdy, so we got to roll it, and I got to figure out what the hell is going on with my feed over here with Instagram. Y'all see somebody trying to do me, man? Tomorrow, guys. See you guys. Veejay's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay blessed. See, we over. Say show over.